It is September 11th, 2020. We're here in the basement of 1800 Fort Stockton Drive in San Diego, California, 92103. We have a sewer cleanout exposed right when you come down the stairs and ramp to the right here. See this 4-inch cast iron. We have a home inspection company here right now, so they're running water through the system. We may have to have them stop, but we're going to go ahead and start the process here. Now, this is essentially almost the very beginning of the line, so as we look kind of back up here on this side of the house, which is along the cross street, I believe it's Hermosa, this end of the house, there's the garage all the way forward, and there's the single-story portion of the house, and that has no plumbing in it. So all the plumbing is coming from the 2-story home, from this wall, and then coming down. So right behind this wall here, we have a crawl space, and the plastic piping that was either put in or redone comes over to near this HVAC ducting, and then there's a little bit of cast iron that's just left before it comes over and sweeps to this spot right here where it comes out exposed, where there's the clean out lid. Looks like they've stopped running water for right now, and I don't know if we're going to be able to, but we'll try to steer our camera back up through here in reverse. So you can see there is the cast iron. We have what appears to be either a bunch of dental floss right there, or some roots intruding in the line. It's hard to say, but it looks like there's a lot of it, and it looks like those are roots. So, we're going to try to see if we can make this turn or whatever it is we're coming by, but we're actually running the camera in reverse, so it's not going to work extremely well. We'll have to go into the crawl space and look at the way the piping was laid out for the turns, as well as possibly a repair here, because yes, we do have what appears to be roots intruding in the line there, I believe. But let me wipe off the camera face and see if that was just a huge, inordinate amount of dental floss that's been constantly flushed down the line here or not. So we're going to wipe our camera there, get it pushed back up inside. Going to keep getting some debris on the lens there, so this might be a little tricky again to get this to go through across there. There we go. It's kind of falling here. This is going to take a minute or so. Alright, there we go. So you can see all that debris right there that's in the line. Some of that appears to be possibly some hair, but it's definitely some heavy corrosion and buildup. The line's kind of got some real heavy scale and build. You can see the wall looks almost horizontal. I'm sorry, rectangular there. As far as its opening, it's just original cast iron. That's why. But it's mostly because of this wall of debris. So it's original cast iron. I'm sure it's an extremely old house. So we've got all that debris hanging there, and it definitely appears when we first went through and some of that buildup that those look like to be roots. So this is going to need to be cleaned up. It could be attempted to be chain knockered, which is a snaking method to try to clean that up. But if it is roots, in fact, that needs to be repaired, of course, because they're growing in the line, which means the pipe is cracked and broken. So we'll look from the crawl space and kind of see if there's any indicators there. We're going to pull back through here the original sweep. And now we're going to go away path of the line. There's the vertical, and here's our downward turn. This is still all original cast iron. Got some water about to come down the line right here. Okay, so just flush the toilet or use some facilities, but we now have the line going across here. A little bit of debris just hanging from the top of the pipe. Does not appear that those are roots, just little things that have caught paper and debris that's caught and stuck, because it splashes around real heavy when it's going from that down the vertical across to the horizontal there. There's obviously definitely some scale and buildup of debris on the walls of the pipe. It's going to be normal with it being original cast iron. Some suds there. They may have washed their hands there. We'll see. Pull back up here. It's like a little pocket that's holding a little bit of water, so sometimes when you get buildup on the bottom of the pipe right there, it creates a little damming effect and a little pool of water that hangs out sometimes. So the camera's going to catch it every once in a while. As you push forward, it creates a little wave. A little debris on the right there. Don't know if that's some string dental floss, or I don't think it's a root intrusion, but continue down the line here. So again, this is original cast iron. It's still intact. Just a normal little mounding and scale and buildup on the inside. A little channel on the bottom there where some debris is kind of carved in. Looks like it might go just to the side street here at Hermosa, because we're already to a transition fitting and we've only traveled about 30 feet. So as you can see here, we're coming up to a black rubber boot, and then this transitions to plastic pipe. This is Greenbell PVC. So used an extra long rubber boot. That's why you're seeing that black area that's there. That's not an opening to the pipe. That's actually the rubber grommet that's used to make the long connection point. So we're now in the pipe that the city has replaced. And then as we come up right here, we'll look on this by the sidewalk, but you can see there's a T-junction right here. So this would be the property line clean out. So they may have brought a clean out to surface near the frontage area off the street. We'll check that out. But there's that there. But this pipe is all new plastic. So this has all been replaced here. So we assume all the way to the city large line where the neighbors all connected into has all been replaced as well. So here we have a turn on the line, and then there we go. There's our dump into the city pipe already. So a little over 55 feet away, and we've already come to where the end of this lateral line is. So it's a straight shot. Now we do have the laundry utility sink straight across from here. So what we'll do is we're going to run some water to see where that dumps into the system, because you can see that utility sink right over here. And then again, we're going to go ahead and try to look to see if that debris that we saw is any evidence of some type of roots or some other weird buildup in the cast iron on the other side of this wall where we started from, that we first looked at. So we're going to keep backing up on the line right here. There's the property line clean out. So we're going to go ahead and pause and actually check this on the curbside and see if this has been brought to surface. Okay, so we not see a clean out lid or cover near the sidewalk or frontage road area. So sometimes they don't bring these to surface, or they have it slightly buried. But again, because it's all new plastic pipe, it's not of any concern. If this clean out was old cast iron or clay pipe, then we would go ahead and be worried about that. We're going to continue to pull back on this all new plastic pipe that was installed. And here now we're back to the cast iron. So right now we're probably just about getting into the yard area here and then passing underneath the fence. And we're going to go ahead now and turn some cold water on in the utility sink that's here in this basement. Okay, so we're going to back our camera up to look at that T-junction where this is dumping in. So you can see the water now flowing by the camera. You should see a vertical drop or a drop off to the side at about a 45-degree angle coming into the line. And there it is right there. So as we backed up, we can see there on the top of the screen, you can see it trickling in. So there's our T-junction. We're going to shut that water off. So right there in the upper right of the screen, that is, or the laundry utility sink, or just utility sink, dumps into the system that's down here. So everything else in the house comes from farther up and across. So again, a little bit of scale and build up on the bottom of the pipe right there you can see. Just some accumulated debris, but nothing that requires a hydrojetting or any type of cleaning right now. The house is occupied, and so as you can see, there's no paper, feces, or anything else binding up or that was in the system. So everything is draining out of the system okay. So even though there's just a little bit of mounding of buildup and scale and deposits, it's not hampering the effectiveness and the functionability of the sewer pipe. Again, here, just that little bit of debris right at the beginning here of this horizontal line. We're about to come back up the vertical here. Here you go, coming back up this vertical, across and out now. Wipe off our camera lens here. Okay, so we're going to take one more quick look before we crawl back over into this area and see if there's any other information we can get visually. But this is that wall of pipes. You can see there's a T-junction actually right there where it's dumping in vertically in, and so that's where it's coming up from above now that we're kind of flexing our camera. So all that debris that's there, why there's only basically kind of a small little rectangular opening, is because all that buildup has kind of lined the pipe and accumulated on the walls there. So that needs to be just simply cleaned really quick. So you can see that needs to be opened back up a little bit because the back side of that, I believe water still comes in from there. So we're going to try to go ahead and again maneuver our camera back across this. There we go. And so we just want to verify. So that needs to be cleaned up really quick. That's a simple process. And then right after that, though, is what we're concerned that those could be roots right there. They really do look like roots. They're just way too thick and heavy. That's not hair or dental floss. So actually, the cast iron right there at this T-junction that goes across as well as coming from up at an angle is going to need to be repaired there. So we're going to go ahead and leave our camera right here. We're going to go ahead and go into the crawl space so we can see if this is buried in the dirt or if it's exposed and how the other pipes interconnect into this. Okay, so we pulled our camera out of the pipe, so we just want to show on this vertical clean out section of pipe. You can see the little pustule right there where the line is starting to deteriorate and it's rusted through because it's starting to fail right there. And then as we pan our camera back over into the crawl space area, we took off this board here for access. And you can see the big pustule right there on the wall of the pipe, all that debris that's actually sticking out of the wall. And then we've got a little pustule right there with that little shiny area. That's some leakage that sealed itself off. And so these little pustules around the walls of the pipe here is just the beginning of the failure of the line. That's why we've got those weird little roots growing in it right at the edge of the dirt into this wall. But the line is obviously deteriorating, and those things could start leaking at any time. So they really need to be replaced. This small section here through this original foundation wall, over to here to this clean out, and then this vertical here, which is then the transition to the they use the T-junction. It can be converted to a 90 just into the shallow horizontal here in the ground. So that does need some basic repair. Other than that, everything else in the house is all plastic and coming from above, and the rest of the cast iron across as it heads over again where it picks up this utility sink and then heads across the yard does not require any repair or maintenance at this time. So that concludes this recording.